taking the eek out of the environment rating scales. Easy tips with no funding needed. Sometimes the environment rating scales can be a little scary and can feel like there is so much to do. This short video can help take away that nervous feeling and give you many easy tips and ideas for things you can do today. The best part is you don't need funding to use the ideas in this video. You can get going right away. So, here we go. Display. Make sure the display is low and easy for children to see. Three-dimensional items have height, width, and depth and are built up and out, like sculptures, mobiles, and plants. Make sure artwork is done by the current group of children in the classroom. It is especially important for infants and toddlers to be able to touch most of the display. Remember to keep it safe by covering it in plastic or contact paper. There are many places to put displays. Here are a few examples. Be creative. Make sure the display fits the age group and means something to them. Rotate the display by adding new and interesting items. Individual work, where the children choose the subject matter and/or materials and don't follow an example, needs to be the norm. TV, video, and computer. This section does not advocate using TV, video, or computer with children. It simply wants to make sure that if it is used in a developmentally appropriate way that adds to children's experiences rather than limiting them in any way. TV, video, and computer are not recommended for children under 2 years old. And there are recommended limits on media time for other ages. It is important to be familiar with these. There are also times TV, video, and computer should not be used, such as meal times. TV, video, and computer time can be tied to a theme for that week. The materials used can extend and support the theme and fit the age group. Carefully monitor the materials used. What is not scary to one child may be terrifying to another. Watch with the children and provide alternative activities that can include reading a book, doing a puzzle, choosing activity centers, or going outside. Books. Helping children develop an interest in books is an important step toward literacy. Make sure children can reach and use books. Make sure the books are in good shape, with the covers and pages not torn, scribbled on, or missing. Gather books in one area, as well as putting books all over the classroom. Science books in the nature science area, art books in the art area, etc. Have at least one book per child enrolled. 2 is even better. Ask for donations. Read books with children daily, in large groups as well as smaller groups and one-on-one. Have alternative activities available during group story times, so children can come and go as they are interested. Make book times pleasant and interactive by using voices and having children repeat parts or lines in the book. Rotate books at least monthly. Materials and activities. Work with your existing materials, whatever they may be. Often you will have more than you think you do. Ask for donations from parents or businesses. Make or gather homemade materials such as cereal boxes to make blocks, collection of natural objects, or homemade Play-Doh. Trainings, workshops, and classes help you be better prepared to interact with the children using the materials and help them get the most from their experience. Use your scholarship dollars. You can exchange and/or rotate materials with other classrooms, facilities, or programs. To use the CCR&R Lending Library, dial 211 and ask for the lending library in your area. Active physical play. Weather permitting means almost every day, unless there is active rain, it is extremely hot or cold, or there is a public announcement that recommends staying indoors. If you remain indoors, set time aside for active play inside. Even if you are able to get outdoors for 10 to 15 minutes at a time, the children and you will benefit. Be flexible with your schedule for outdoor time. You may have to move this time to earlier or later in the day to work around the weather. Make sure the outdoor time is for active physical play. Stroller rides and swinging babies in swings are great, but children need to be actively moving. Make sure to check the playground daily for broken toys and equipment, loose parts, trash in the play area, splintering wood, etc. Ensure that material under play equipment is deep enough and taken care of. Bring art, dramatic play, blocks, and even books into the outdoor play area. This can be as simple as a stage and props, an easel on the fence, giant outdoor blocks, and/or a cozy area with a container of books. Meals and snacks. Feeding is a high-risk activity. All children, infants in particular, should be kept close to you at all times to watch how they eat and avoid choking. Meal and snack times are a great time for conversation. Talk about the day, the food, or whatever comes to mind. Make meal times relaxed and pleasant. Children and adults' hands should be washed before and after meals and snacks, as well as before and after bottle feeding and preparing and serving food. High chair trays and tabletops should be washed and sanitized before and after meals and snacks. Milk and juice in bottles and cups should not be left unrefrigerated for more than 1 hour. Post food allergies where they can be easily seen by all, such as the outside of cabinets. If children bring their own lunches from home, you must make sure the lunches meet USDA guidelines, even if you have to add fruits, vegetables, etc. Educate parents about USDA guidelines and packing nutritious, well-rounded meals and snacks. Nap and rest. Separating sleeping children helps reduce sickness and promotes good sleeping habits. Many providers have made solid barriers to separate sleeping children from plexiglass or other materials. Be creative in placing children and separating them, making sure they are within view and you can get to them. Aim to make nap rest dependable with a consistent time and routine daily. Make sure nap time is not too long or too short and not too early or too late, resulting in cranky kids. Tailor nap time to what the children in your group need. Store bedding separately with separate labeled shelves, bags, etc. Consider asking parent volunteers to make sheets for the cots, cribs, and/or mats. Keep children within sight, hearing, and sound in case of emergencies or if children wake up and need attention. If a child falls asleep in a shared space, such as an infant swing or seat, stroller, cozy area, or table, move them to a special sleep surface. If a child needs to sleep in a shared space, they should have a doctor's note stating this. Consider allowing non-nappers to do quiet alternative activities such as reading, coloring, etc. Schedule. A schedule is important to children. Having the schedule displayed helps the staff and children regularly and easily refer to it to help avoid confusion and problems. Consider making the schedule with pictures and text so it can be meaningful to all ages. A basic daily schedule should exist that is familiar to the children so they know what happens when. This schedule should be posted in the actual classroom or classrooms where children spend most of their time. The schedule should be flexible to help create a relaxed atmosphere and allow for day-to-day changes. Have a nice balance of activities that happen both indoors and outdoors. Same sink issue. Having separate sinks for diapering, toileting, and other uses, washing for meals, washing toys, toothbrushing, etc. reduces the risk of the germs from feces and urine getting on the sink and then onto children's hands as they wash up from diapering, toileting, and wash for other things. If you do not have separate sinks, you should sanitize the one sink between diapering, toileting, and other uses. You can complete all use for one purpose, then sanitize the sink using the method above and move on to another use. Group time. Larger group meetings can be successful if they are relatively short, focus on current topics of interest to the children, include things children enjoy doing together, and children are not forced to remain in the group. Tailor your group times to the ages, abilities, and interests of the children. Keep the kids engaged with lots of hands-on activities, songs, finger plays, rhymes, questions, etc. Be flexible with the time and willing to shorten or lengthen group time, depending on the children's interests that day. Provide other activities for children who do not want to participate in the group activities. I hope we took a little of the eek out of the environment rating scales and gave you great tips and ideas for things to do today to increase quality without needing funding. Want to learn more? Call 211 and ask for your regional consultant or the assessment specialist. Check out the ERS videos at your local lending library. Dial 211. Visit the ERS website at www.ersi.org. Visit the Idaho Stars website at www.idahostars.org. Thank you for all you do for children every day.